Nigli Niwewe Mwanzo. Who is the beginning? In the name of She, capital S, capital H, capital I, who man, Adam, called son and Shuin. In the name of the true son of God and She, man, Adam. In the name of the true motherland, N-I-G-R-I-T-I-A, land of the goals. In the name of the true begotten Son, Matthew 1:23, Emmanuel, I-M-A-N-U-E-L, whose name means go with us. Peace from above. Amani Kutoka. Peace from above. How you doing? Good to see you. Good to be here. As always, Fuwaha Wa Sabasiku. I say again, Fuwaha Wa Sabasiku. Happy 7th day. The Book of Life, Kitabu Cha Uzima. The Book of Life, Kitabu Cha Uzima. Today, we're going to be reading from the 1st Kings, chapter 11. But King Solomon loved many foreign women, as well as the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Sidonians, and Hittites, from the nations of whom the God had said to the children of Israel, you shall not intermarry with them, nor they with you. Surely they will turn away your hearts after their goals. Solomon clung to these in love, and he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. For it was so when Solomon was old that his wife turned his heart after other gods, and his heart was not loyal to the God, his God, as was the heart of his father David. For Solomon went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Sidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. Solomon did evil in the sight of the God, and did not fully follow the God as did his father David. Then Solomon built a high place for Shemosh, the abomination of Moab, on the hill that is east of Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the people of Ammon. And he did likewise for all his foreign wives, who burned incense and sacrificed to their gods. So the God became angry with Solomon, because his heart had turned from the God of Israel, who had appeared to him twice, and had commanded him concerning this thing, that he should not go after other gods. But he did not keep what the God had commanded. Therefore the God said to Solomon, because you have done this, and have not kept my covenant and my statutes, which I have commanded you, I will surely tear the kingdom away from you, and give it to your servant. Nevertheless, I will not do it in your days, for the sake of your father David. I will tear it out of the hand of your son. However, I will not tear away the whole kingdom. I will give one clan to your son for the sake of my servant David, and for the sake of Jerusalem, which I have chosen. Now the Lord raised up an adversary against Solomon, Hadad, the Edomite. He was a descendant of the king of Edom. For it happened when David was in Edom, and Joab, the commander of the army, had gone up to bury the slain after he had killed every man in Edom. Because for 6 months Joab remained there with all Israel until he had cut down every male in Edom. That Hadad fled to go to Egypt, he and certain Edomites of his father's servants with him. Hadad was still a little child. Then they arose from Midian and came to Paran, and they took men with them from Paran and came to Egypt, to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, who gave him a house, apportioned food for him, and gave him land. And Hadad found great favor in the sight of Pharaoh, so that he gave him as wife the sister of his own wife, that is, the sister of Queen Tahpenes. Then the sister of Tahpenes bore him Jenubath his son, whom Tahpenes weaned in Pharaoh's house. And Jenubath was in Pharaoh's household among the sons of Pharaoh. So when Hadad heard in Egypt that David rested with his fathers, and that Joab, the commander of the army, was dead, Hadad said to Pharaoh, "Let me depart, that I may go to my own country." Then Pharaoh said to him, "But what have you lacked with me, that suddenly you seek to go to your own country?" So he answered, "Nothing, but do let me go anyway." And God raised up another adversary against him, Rezon, the son of Eliada, who had fled from his lord Hadadezer, king of Zobah. So he gathered men to him and became captain over a band of raiders when David killed those of Zobah. And they went to Damascus and dwelt there and reigned in Damascus. He was an adversary of Israel all the days of Solomon, besides the trouble that Hadad caused, and he abhorred Israel and reigned over Syria. Then Solomon's servant Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, and Ephraimite from Zeradah, whose mother's name was Zeruah, a widow, also rebelled against the king. And this is what caused him to rebel against the king. Solomon had built the Millo and repaired the damages to the city of David his father. The man Jeroboam was a mighty man of valor, and Solomon, seeing that the young man was industrious, made him the officer over all the labor force of the house of Joseph. Now it happened at that time, when Jeroboam went out of Jerusalem, that the prophet Ahijah the Shilonite met him on the way, and he had clothed himself with a new garment, and the two were alone in the field. Then Ahijah took hold of the new garment that was on him and tore it into 12 pieces. And he said to Jeroboam, take for yourself 10 pieces, for thus says the God of Israel, behold, I will tear the kingdom out of the hand of Solomon, and will give 10 clans to you. But he shall have one clan for the sake of my servant David, and for the sake of Jerusalem, the city which I have chosen out of all the clans of Israel. Because they have forsaken me and worshipped Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Sidonians, Chemosh, the god of the Moabites, and Milcom, the god of the people of Ammon, and have not walked in my ways to do what is right in my eyes, and keep my statutes and my judgments as did his father David. However, I will not take the whole kingdom out of his hand, because I have made him ruler all the days of his life for the sake of my servant David, whom I chose because he kept my commandments and my statutes. But I will take the kingdom out of his son's hand and give it to you, 10 clans. And to his son I will give one clan, that my servant David may always have a lamp before me in Jerusalem, the city which I have chosen for myself to put my name there. So I will take you, and you shall reign over all your heart desires, and you shall be king over Israel. Then it shall be, if you heed all that I command you, walk in my ways, and do what is right in my sight, to keep my statutes and my commandments as my servant David did, then I will be with you and build for you an enduring house as I built for David, and will give Israel to you. And I will afflict the descendants of David because of this, but not forever. Solomon therefore sought to kill Jeroboam, but Jeroboam arose and fled to Egypt, to Shishak, king of Egypt, and was in Egypt until the death of Solomon. Now the rest of the acts of Solomon, all that he did, and his wisdom, are they not written in the book of the acts of Solomon? And the period that Solomon reigned in Jerusalem over all Israel was 40 years. Then Solomon rested with his fathers, and was buried in the city of David his father. And Rehoboam his son reigned in his place. Chapter 12. And Rehoboam went to Shechem, for all Israel had gone in Shechem to make him king. So it happened, when Jeroboam the son of Nebat heard it, he was still in Egypt, for he had fled from the presence of King Solomon, and had been dwelling in Egypt, that they sent and called him. Then Jeroboam and the whole assembly of Israel came and spoke to Rehoboam, saying, your father made our yoke heavy. Now therefore lighten the burdensome service of your father, and his heavy yoke which he put on us, and we will serve you. So he said to them, depart for 3 days, then come back to me. And the people departed. Then King Rehoboam consulted the elders who stood before his father Solomon while he still lived, and he said, how do you advise me to answer these people? And they spoke to him, saying, if you will be a servant to these people today, and serve them, and answer them, and speak good words to them, then they will be your servants forever. But he rejected the advice which the elders had given him, and consulted the young men who had grown up with him, who stood before him. And he said to them, what advice do you give? How should we answer this people who have spoken to me, saying, lighten the yoke which your father put on us? Then the young men who had grown up with him spoke to him, saying, thus you should speak to this people who have spoken to you, saying, your father made our yoke heavy, but you make it lighter on us. Thus you shall say to them, my little finger shall be thicker than my father's wrist. And now, whereas my father put a heavy yoke on you, I will add to your yoke. My father chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scourges. So Jeroboam and all the people came to Rehoboam the third day, as the city had directed, saying, come back to me the third day. Then the king answered the people roughly, and rejected the advice which the elders had given him. And he spoke to them according to the advice of the young men, saying, my father made your yoke heavy, but I will add to your yoke. My father chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scourges. So the king did not listen to the people, for the turn of events was from the God, that he might fulfill his words which the God had spoken by Ahijah the Shilonite to Jeroboam the son of Nebat. Now when all Israel saw that the king did not listen to them, the people answered the king, saying, what share have we in David? We have no inheritance in the son of Yeseh. To your tents, O Israel, now see to your own house, O David. So Israel departed to their tents. But Rehoboam reigned over the children of Israel who dwelt in the cities of Judah. Then King Rehoboam sent Adoram, who was in charge of the revenue, but all Israel stoned him with stones, and he died. Therefore King Rehoboam mounted his chariots in haste to flee to Jerusalem. So Israel has been in rebellion against the house of David to this day. Now it came to pass, when all Israel heard that Jeroboam had come back, they sent for him and called him to the congregation and made him king over all Israel. There was none who followed the house of David, but the clan of Judah only. And when Rehoboam came to Jerusalem, he assembled all the house of Judah with the clan of Benjamin, 180,000 chosen men who were warriors, to fight against the house of Israel, that he might restore the kingdom that Rehoboam the son of Solomon. But the word of God came to Shemaiah, the man of God, saying, speak to Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, king of Judah, to all the house of Judah and Benjamin, and to the rest of the people, saying, thus says the God, you shall not go up nor fight against your brethren, the children of Israel. Let every man return to his house, for this thing is from me. Therefore they obeyed the word of the God and turned back according to the word of the God. Then Jeroboam built Shechem in the mountains of Ephraim and dwelt there. Also he went out from there and built Penuel. Now Jeroboam said in his heart, now the kingdom may return to the house of David. If these people go up to offer sacrifices in the house of the God at Jerusalem, then the heart of this people will turn back to their Lord Rehoboam, king of Judah, and they will kill me and go back to Rehoboam, king of Judah. Therefore the king asked advice, made 2 calves of gold, and said to the people, it is too much for you to go up to Jerusalem. Here are your golds, O Israel, which brought you up from the land of Asia. And he set up one in Bethel, and the other he put in Dan. Now this thing became a sin, for the people went to worship before the one as far as Dan. He made shrines on the high places and made priests from every class of people who were not of the sons of Levi. Jeroboam ordained a feast on the 15th day of the 8th month, like the feast that was in Judah, and offered sacrifices on the altars. So he did at Bethel, sacrificing to the calves that he had made. And at Bethel he installed the priests of the high places which he had made. So he made offerings on the altar which he had made at Bethel on the 15th day of the 8th month, in the month which he had devised in his own heart. And he ordained a feast for the children of Israel, and offered sacrifices on that altar, and burned incense. Power. Wow. So David couldn't control his nature. Solomon. King Solomon, King Solomon, he just couldn't control his nature. He loved many foreign women, and through his nature, he forgot, he lost sight of what he was supposed to be doing, and he allowed himself to fall prey to other people's God. I keep telling people over and over, beware OPGs. Keep telling y'all over and over, beware of OPGs. In here it steady said Solomon's downfall was him messing with all these women, to where he messed around and started glorifying their gold. He forgot what he was supposed to do, because he told them, you shall not intermarry with them, nor they with you. Surely they will turn away your hearts after their goals. But he couldn't help it. It was his nature. He had a very strong nature, and his nature was the beginning of the downfall of Israel. The children of the clan, the house, the family of Israel. Wow. One more time, ain't no such thing as no tribes, as I've stated clearly before. I-S-E, Philadelphia. One more time. One of the 7 tabernacles, Philadelphia. So, no. Clans, families, houses, children of Israel. One more time. And let me see. Now, in fulfillment of purpose, Judah is the only house that's still pure. Out of all the 12 houses, Judah is the only house that's still pure. Because the rest of the houses, the rest of the clans, the rest of the families were doing and serving OPGs. One more time. That's what you're doing now. That's what you're doing today, as you say G and looking at J, sus. But you can't say J, sus, because you brain whitewash. Just like you didn't hear me say Lord, except for the times when they were talking about each other. I say gold of gold, period. One more time. His first commandment is beware of other people's golds. One more time. He allows other people to have golds, but it's up to you if you want to deal with them. One more time. They, whites, offsprings, culture vultures, have absolutely no problem telling you you need to worship their gold. And you got some people out here worshiping the dead. Excuse me, the dead. He who created life, that's what you want to worship, the dead. Okay. One more time. I don't tell nobody what to do. Do what you want to. I'm serving him who created life. One more time. He didn't create life to end life. Man created the end of life when he did like Solomon, overstepped the rules. But one more time, this is the beginning. This is telling you and showing you the things that you shouldn't do. This is 2023. You see what's happening over there in Palestine? Because they trying to take Palestine and make Palestine be Israel when Israel is not a land. One more time. Israel is a people. Period. 12 clans, 12 families, 12 houses of Israel. For sure. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Judah. Oh, excuse me. Let me. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Dan. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, Benjamin, number 1, Yaakov, who he renamed into Israel, the original 13. Yaakov and his 12 sons, the original 13. Yaakov and his 12 sons, the original clan, family, house of Israel, not a land. Not a land. And the only pure blood at this particular time is Judah. But did you hear what he said? I'm going to separate them, but not forever. Oops. Not forever. One more time. Feed the potter's gold and hear the word of the Lamb. It's up to you if you want to believe in yourself. One more time. I am, teach, notice, capital K, capital N, capital O, capital W, baby L, baby E, baby D, baby G, baby E. Knowledge, stuff you already know. You should know now that we're talking about the beginning so that we don't make the same mistakes. One more time. As always, Asante Sana. Thank you very much. Nigni, Niwewe, Mawanzo. Go is the beginning. In the name of she, capital S, capital H, capital I, who man, Adam, called the son. In the name of the true begotten Son, Matthew 1:23, Emmanuel, Imanuel, whose name means go with us. In the name of the true motherland, Nigritia, Nigeria, land of the gods, Kuntakite, Tower Babo. Peace from above. Amani Kutoka. Peace from above.